Hello and welcome into this match review of the first match of the 5 match T20 series between New Zealand and Pakistan in New Zealand. I'm your host, Andrew McLean, and yes, this first match was played at Eden Park in Auckland, and there's been a lot of talk about the ground and the short boundaries and whether Bubba's capable of even staying in the team and some of the stuff that people are saying on Twitter is, I think, quite ridiculous. But that's the nature of how it goes. But for the record, New Zealand won this first match. They scored 226 for 8 off their 20 overs, and Pakistan chasing were bowled out for 180. So a disappointing start to the tour for Pakistan. But a very good start for New Zealand, winning by 46 runs. And I think it's significant that the Pakistan captain Shaheen Shah Afridi, who's in his first match as captain of Pakistan, of course, last time Pakistan played T20 cricket, Babar Azam was the captain. But after the World Cup, the Pakistan Cricket Board made the decision to relieve Babar of the captaincy in all formats, and of course Shan Masood took over the Test captaincy, and they haven't named a one-day international or 50-over captain yet, but it's Shaheen Shah Afridi who's been leading the side today, and I mean Shaheen. Shaheen got it right from the start in the sense that he called correctly with the toss of the coin and he put New Zealand into bat. And I'm joined by my co-host, Rana Amir. So Rana, first and foremost, what did you think of Shaheen's decision to put New Zealand in to bat?
That was a fair call, Andy. It's the very first match of the tournament. You're not sure about the surface, so it's always a better option to chase the score instead of batting first. So I think it was a fair call. And considering the how much batting powerhouse New Zealand are, especially when they are playing at home, so you never know how much score it would be enough for New Zealand. So I think it was a fair call, and everyone was expecting this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, we don't play much. Well, when I say we, I mean New Zealand. But of course, I'm a New Zealander. We actually don't play a lot of cricket at Eden Park anymore. I mean, in the past, Eden Park was kind of, a bit of a fortress for New Zealand because, I mean, I'm thinking back to times like the 1992 World Cup, for example, where we just had a side that knew how to defend a score or create a score on that ground. Um, there's been a lot of talk about the ground on Twitter, about the short boundaries and all of that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, after New Zealand started batting, of course, it was perfect for Pakistan initially, getting Devon Conway out for a duck or golden duck actually, um, but it was a bit explosive from Finn Allen. Uh, but after that, I didn't think that New Zealand really dominated, but somehow they managed to get through to 226 for 8. And if you look at some of the bowling figures, I mean, Shaheen had 3 for 46 um, off his 4 overs. Harris Ralph 2 for 34. Um, uh, Abbas Afridi 3 for 34. So it's not like, I mean, I didn't actually watch the match. For some reason, I can't get on television here in Bali. But I mean, what did you make of the bowling effort, Umir?
See, the first couple of overs were pretty good for Pakistan, especially in the very first over when Shaheen took a wicket of Devon Conway. So everyone started to believe that maybe Shaheen has got back into his groove and we might be seeing first very two good overs. But The second over he bowled Finn Allen completely like he hit him all over the park. Even Shaheen would not have expected such sort of counter attack because New Zealand were already one down and they knew they were playing with one better shot. Like unfortunately, Mitchell Center was not there. So everyone was expecting, okay, now they are going to build on the innings. But the counter attack which Finn Allen does, and he's famous for that actually. So that was absolutely right. Shaheen had no clue where to ball. Scoring, I think he's conceded 23, 24 runs in that over. So it is quite a high number of runs, like especially when you have bowled a fantastic first over. And again, honestly, the factor which contributed towards such high runs, that was somewhat lack of experience. Abbas Afridi was on debut. Amir Jawal hasn't played much T20 cricket, although in recent Test series he has showed glimpses of brilliance. But again, you obviously cannot ask much from such less experienced bowlers. So that was one factor. Haris Rauf actually bowled well in the end as well, and it was his good luck maybe that when he came back to bowl, there was only one proper batsman playing, on the other, Chapman was playing with the tailenders, so that actually led towards low number of scores or less number of runs at the end. But in bowling, yeah, I think Shaheen could have done better. Like especially when you have one bowled one brilliant over, he should have provided that control. But Finn Allen, absolutely, he had no answer for Finn Allen.
I mean, as a New Zealand fan, obviously, and I look at Finn Allen's performance today, and he did. I don't know. Actually, let me check. What over did he get out in? He got out before the end of the power play. So I read a statistic recently that Finn Allen has only got out after the power play. I think one time in 18 innings, or might be 19 innings now. And yes, he scored 34 off 15 balls, three fours, three sixes, smashed the ball all over the park. But I mean, what's your opinion on having someone like Finn Allen in a team where he goes out and whacks it, but he never really carries on. And I know it didn't make any difference today because other guys got runs, but for me, Finn Allen's a massive disappointment at international level. What's your opinion?
The talent he has got, I think he could have done a lot more, especially when last year not last year, in 2022, in the World Cup, he started playing brilliant cricket. But again, if you remember in the semi-final against he was not able to score runs. So yeah, you can say that the consistency is still a question mark for him, but again, he can change the match in 1 over. That's what he has proven today. New Zealand were down, like the first couple of overs did not go well for them, but in the third over he put the opposition onto the back foot. At that, Shaheen is one of the premier bowler for Pakistan, and if you score like 20 plus runs against a top quality bowler, so obviously you can demolish any bowling side at a given day. But again, consistency is the key, and he has to prove. And I think in the upcoming matches, you will see Allen as a regular member of this playing 11 for New Zealand. And I think this is the demand of the modern cricket. You should have someone who can demolish the opposition, who can play fluently and utilize the power play. That is the important thing. And yeah, again, like Finn Allen, consistency is a big question mark on him, but otherwise he's got all the shots.
Yeah, well, we'll come back to the issue of power play when we talk about the Pakistan innings. I personally just disappointed that. I mean, Finn Allen in domestic cricket has been scoring loads of runs in the 50 over format, but I just feel like he. I didn't see how he got out today, but it's just like you've got to 34. Um, you're averaging a strike rate of 226. You should be able to go on with it. But I guess there was a couple of really important contributions for New Zealand today. Kane Williamson scored 57 off off 42 balls, uh, strike rate of 135, and Daryl Mitchell was just brilliant once again. I mean, he's a hell of a player. 61 off 27 balls. Why do you think it was that Williamson and Mitchell, and then Phillips and Mark Chapman were able to? Phillips made 19, Chapman made 26. Why do you think they were able to propel New Zealand to this total that they scored this 226? What was the reason for that?
See, like Williamson played a key role, like in this 226 runs on the board. Like on one hand, Williamson was playing proper cricketing shot, and he was giving license to the batter batting at the other hand. Like first Darren Mitchell, like he's like completely a beast in white ball cricket. Like he has played so well during the 50 over World Cup as well, and he has carried the same form in the T20 cricket as well. So I highly rate him. I rate him above many other batters in the current cricket. And yeah, so the reason was I will strongly I will highly rate Williamson inning today, just because he was holding one and not just holding, he was playing. He played with the strike rate of 135, and he actually gave license to the batters batting at the other end, including Darren Mitchell and Glenn Phillips. Again, Darren Mitchell, like playing at the strike rate of 225, like great, brilliant innings, and like he made sure that even though they had lost Finn Allen, and when both Williamson and Darren Mitchell joined on the wicket, so they actually only took a couple of overs, and after that they started playing their own game. They attacked every bowler and in every over, and just because of their intent, they were able to score 226.
Yeah. Well, it was always going to be a tough chase for Pakistan after that. But one of the things, Rana. I mean, as you know, I've been to Pakistan 5 times over the last couple of years, and I've watched them play at pretty much everywhere, including Multan, Lahore, Karachi. Um, but I've always felt that I don't know why it is, but Pakistan can't seem to get their batting lineup sorted out. And today we saw a change. We saw Siam Obe come in. He opened with Rizwan. Bubba moved to three. Fakhar Zaman, who's also an opener, batted at four. Then you had Iftikhar at five and Azam Khan at six. And to be honest, I never even heard of Azam Khan. Uh, and Shane Shah Freddie at seven. And so, when I look at that lineup, I actually think they probably made a couple of good selections. I don't think it's a bad thing that Bubba batted at three. I think Pakistan's been crying out for a dasher at the top of the order, someone that can build momentum real fast. And I don't think Fakhar Zaman's that guy. I think a lot of the Pakistan fans think he is, but from what I've seen, I don't think it's him at all. So when I look at actually their lineup today, with the exception of Azam Khan, who, as I say, I don't even really know who he is. I thought the top five looked fairly solid, um, but obviously that they weren't able to pull off the run chase, and obviously from a New Zealand perspective, Tim Southey did extraordinarily well. 4 for 25 off 4 overs. I mean, that's just exceptional bowling. But um, what was your opinion on Pakistan's decision to open with Siam Ayub and Mohammad Rizwan? Do you think that's the right combination with Bubba at three?
See, Andy, like when we were doing the show for the Sydney test, and the last day I told you that we will be seeing Saim Ayub opening the batting along with Mohammad Rizwan. So, yeah, the same thing happened. And I will first talk about the Saim's inning. Like, although his stay at the wicket was very short, it was for only 8 balls, and
Eight
unfortunately, he got
balls,
run out.
yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah,
8 balls,
yeah,
27
yeah.
runs.
And you, but even if you haven't got a chance to look or watch the match, so you should be watching that six, that no look shot, for which he's actually famous for. and hitting a six to Adam Millen on the short fine leg, and that was his special. And he replicated the same. He's known for this shot. In PSL, he plays this shot regularly, and today in an international match, he was able to execute that. And he has shown that he is one for the future, and he will stay. And you will see him playing a lot of T20 cricket for Pakistan. Opening with Rizwan, why they have opted for Rizwan? Because Rizwan is someone who can play aggressively, as well as, according to the situation, he can hold the other end as well. So that's why they have gone with Rizwan. Why not? Why Babar has is pushed to one down? The reason is that he can play good in playing in at the middle order, especially spinners. Like he was known to spin very well, but lately we have seen him struggling. But otherwise, he has been a good player of spin. So that's why they have pushed him to one down. Unfortunately, I would see that Fakhar Zaman, like obviously he is sacrificing his position. He's naturally an opener, and he's now asked to bat at number four. Earlier, he was batting at number three when Babar Azam and Rizwan were opening. So I believe Fakhar Zaman might be a push to out of his comfort zone. It would be interesting to see how he will be able to adopt that. There is no doubt in his capabilities. He can smash any bowler, be it the pacers or
Well,
spin bowlers.
well,
But
well,
again, if you are
Rahul,
trying to change the game, yep.
no, Umir, just on that. I mean, I was chatting offline with our friend Asim. You know, well, I think it was yesterday actually. So it wasn't even on the match day, but I actually quite like the idea of Fakazaman batting at number four because he is an explosive player, but from what I've seen of him over the last couple of years, I don't think he's actually suited to opening. And actually, batting at number four might be a better position for him. But as I say, I didn't watch it on the TV, but I was listening to it on the radio. I mean, he made 15 off 10 balls today, but he got out to what I heard was like an unbelievably good catch by Ish Sodhi,
Exactly.
caught and bowled. So I don't think we can criticise Faka too much, but I actually think that the Pakistan top four, the way they've set it up now, is actually really good because I think back to the T20 series. What was it now? Must have been about a year and year. Well, was it October 2022? That seven match series against England, and what I saw when I was in Lahore and Karachi was it all came down to Baba and Rizwan, and I quite like the way that the selectors have changed it and tried to create an actual top order because before Pakistan had no one to bat at number 3 to 6. They tried so many different players. They tried Iftikhar or Ifti Mania, I know he's called in Pakistan, and I just don't think he's very good. They tried Shadab, they tried Nawaz, they tried all these players, and I actually think now Ifti at number 5 is probably his right position, and they're just missing decent hitters like Shadab and um, Muhammad Nawaz, who are not on the side. But I just want to ask you about Baba. I mean, so these are the basic facts. He scored 57 runs off 35 balls today, six fours and two sixes at a strike rate of 162. But I've read Twitter since the match, and people are still blaming Bubba for not scoring fast enough. I mean, what on earth do people expect him to do?
Like the first 20 balls which he played during this inning, he was actually struggling. So there is no doubt, like he was not able to time the ball. He was just trying to hit the ball, but it was not coming. Like he was not able to score any boundaries fluently. There was an edge on which he got a boundary and one delivery down the leg side from his Shodhi. He was able to score a boundary over that. Apart from that, there was nothing from him on the first 20 balls. That's why people have a belief that They could have scored more runs when Saim and Rizwan got out. So there was a lean patch when where Babar was on the crease, but runs were not coming. So see, when you are chasing a target of 226, so obviously runs have to come from both the ends. It's not the case where where a batter at one end can score, run a ball, and and you ask the other batsman to do all the scoring. So it's not going to happen. So that's why they are blaming them, and I actually felt the same
Yeah,
thing as well.
but
That
hold on, Umir. Just to be clear on this. So Baba came in at the fall of Saima Ayub's wicket, right? So
yeah.
the guys he batted with was Muhammad Rizwan. He scored 25 off 14 balls at a strike rate of 178. Then he batted with Fakhar Zaman, who scored 15 balls at a strike rate of 150. Then it was Iftikhar Ahmed, 27, 24 runs off 17 balls at a strike rate of 141. So it's not like Bubba, was doing a blockathon or stat padding as everyone says. I mean, the guy's got a strike rate of 161. The reason why Pakistan lost this match is because they didn't have a middle and lower order. It wasn't because of Bubba.
See, Andy, as I mentioned earlier, like the first half of his inning was a bit scratchy. He picked the pace. He obviously eventually ended up with a strike rate of 162. That was just because he played beautifully in the second half. There is no doubt. It could be the reason that he was lacking confidence or lacking form because lately he hasn't scored any runs for Pakistan. So that could be the reason. But again, like people blame him, he actually waits for run route to creep at that much that at a point everyone will start believing that it is impossible now. At that stage, he will start hitting the boundaries, but eventually he will get out and not going to finish the match. Why people blaming him today just because he was not able to finish the match? And obviously, there was one reason that on the other side, the hitter like Iftikhar Ahmed, Azam Khan, and even Shine Afridi promoted himself to do some sort of pinch hitting. They were not able to score runs, and that the only reason was New Zealand bowler bowled brilliantly. They did not offer the Pakistani middle order any pace to hit the sixes. All like they bowled with different variety. There were pace variations, length variations, and they did not allow them to score runs. So that's why, like the so-called finisher, Iftikhar Ahmed and Azam Khan, they were not able to do that.
Yeah, look, I just get very annoyed. I've watched Bubba play a lot over the last 2 years, and he is a high quality player. And let's also not forget, he's just coming off a very, very disappointing Test series where, I mean, lots of people are saying he needs a rest. He's mentally broken. I'm talking about on Twitter and stuff. I heard a comment about what Waka Yunus said. It says he's not the same guy, but Bubba wasn't the reason why Pakistan lost today. He wasn't, and his 57 runs at a strike rate of 162, batting number three. I mean, I can't remember when he scored that fast when he was opening the batting, and so maybe actually a good position for him. And I just wanted to make a comparison to Kane Williamson. Okay, so I've just mentioned what Bubba did. So Kane Williamson was basically same. Well, what was it exactly the same score? I think it was that they scored exactly the same amount of runs. Yeah, they did. So batting number three in the same position as Bubba, Williamson scored at 135 strike rate. But I don't see any Pakistan fans saying that Kane.
A lot from Babar Azam because after so many years, we got one batter who actually is a sort of a brand in Pakistan among the batters. In like entire history, it were mostly the bowlers who used to be the heroes. Oh, they disappoint and start him and cheering for him. But again, like the thing is that he's a superstar of our team, and people expect a lot from him.
Yeah,
Same goes with the case like let's talk about India. If India goes on to lose any tournament or any big match, so obviously they India goes on to lose any tournament or any big match, so obviously it like they put a lot of blame on Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. They know that they are the superstars. They are the people from whom the entire nation are expecting some good runs. So yeah, same thing happens with Babar Azam as well. And
I
like,
just,
yeah,
Umir, I just feel really sorry for Bubba. I mean, you know, I don't want to get into it. Actually, I just feel that the I wouldn't call it trolling, but the abuse that Bubba gets is so unjustified. You know, he's a high quality in Australia, but it's almost like, well, now they're saying either him or Rizwan needs to be in the team, but not both of them. But I mean, look today, Rizwan Rizwan had a unbelievable strike rate, 178. Bubba had 162. They were the two highest striking players in the game, apart from Saim Ayub. I just don't understand, what more. Rizwan's not wicket keeping. So I had to go and look at the official scorecard to double check it. And it turns out that the guy that was wicket keeping was Azam Khan. So I, I was absolutely shocked when I heard that.